Hi, my name is Jennifer Lutz, and my book is called Dust Bunny Tales, Curious Claire, and I'm a graduate of the U of A.
Now, it's not dust bunnies like bunnies that are made out of dust that we clean out of our house, or is it meant to be kind of a dual meaning?
Yes, that's exactly it. So, I don't know, about 15 years ago, the idea just popped in my head. Like, I take inspiration from the things all around us, and for some reason, just the idea popped into my mind about, well, what if, these dust bunnies, I've always thought the name was really hilarious. What if they were actually real things and had their own lives and existed in their own way?
They're kind of spies, aren't they? Because they are there and we're not realizing that they're there.
Exactly, yeah. So they exist in their own little world and out of sight and out of mind for us.
So is there a moral to this tale?
Not a moral per se, but the main character is very curious about what exists outside, and her family is always warning her to not go out there because vacuums and other things are very dangerous. And so she unwittingly gets pushed into this world she's been very curious about, and she has an adventure, basically.
Well, what are some of the adventures or some of the predicaments she gets into?
So in the first book, which is what's out now, and I would like it to be a series, she ends up on a dog's tail, like getting swooped up on it when it brushes under the chair, and so she's taken on a wild ride throughout the house, and of course, sometimes she starts falling off and she doesn't know where she is, but she sees all these amazing things while she's out and about. And so it's about her kind of going through this predicament, first being scared because it's new, and then realizing, oh, it's actually like really fun and exciting, and figuring out suddenly, like, she sees her home and figures out how to get back.
Is this the kind of book that a parent, a grandparent, an adult can read with a child or read to a child?
Yes, it's perfect for small kids and early readers, but I found, 2 to 5 and 6 is kind of like the ideal range, and it's great for reading. It's in a rhyme, and so it's kind of fun and easy for adults to read to kids, and it's also good for early readers starting out on their own.
It's kind of, too, a tale for kids that you don't have to be fearful of everything that's out there, but you do have to be careful. Is that something that went through your head, kind of a message to the younger children?
Yeah, exactly. So I do that when I read it at schools and other places. That's one of the things I talk about, like, with kids. Oh, have you ever done something new where it feels really scary at first and you're not sure because it's new, but then when you actually do it, you realize it's not that bad and it's fun and it's something that you enjoy.
What motivated you to write this book?
I think it was mainly that it was an idea I had that never went away. I wrote a first draft, and then I was busy working, and it was almost 10 years had passed, and I kept thinking about it, and it was in draft form, and then eventually I was like, okay, I just needed to do this and get it out in the world because I think the universe is telling me something. So.
What did you do before you became an author?
So my degrees are in engineering, so I was working in optical engineering and project and program management.
Are you stepping away from those professions and becoming a full-time writer now? What's the plan for the future?
So right now, this is what I'm doing, and I think maybe in the future it could be both, and I'm not sure.
How difficult was it for you to get this book published? I mean, you're a new author. The big authors with the big publishing houses have got agents, they've got illustrators, they've got copy editors. What did you have? So
I ended up publishing it independently, and that was after a lot of research and thought. And I think there's advantages and disadvantages to each path, but for me, like you say, being a new author, I felt that independently was the best way to go for now, and in the future, possibly pursuing more traditional publishing. But I'm really happy with the route I chose because I got to really get my hands in all of the details and understand, how do you work with an illustrator, and let's get it set up for printing properly and all the little steps that go into it. So I think my engineering and project management side really helped with that, because there are a lot of pieces, and making sure everything is done precisely, because you don't want to have a book printed many copies where there's something wrong with it. And
That's the engineering side of you.
yes, so they came together well.
There could be people who are sitting back watching this interview and they're saying to themselves, I've got a book in me, I've got a book in me. What kind of advice would you give that future author?
I would say if it's an idea that you have and something you keep thinking about, to go for it. Like, that's something that I find really amazing in today's age, that we have all these different avenues for getting works out into the world. That, you know, if there's something you really want to do, like publish a book, there's many different ways of doing it, whether it's traditional, independent, or even there's print on demand options. And, you know, I don't see any downside in going for your dream.